Okay. Part 2 of the Dean Koontz book. To start. Okay. So I'm going to read the whole pages that, so I can't remember, like I said, it's been years ago since I had the dream about this book. So it's, I'm probably not going to remember why the heck I circled these numbers. So, okay. See, page 144, that's the first page. It sort of looks like it's circled. It's like partly circled or something, so. Okay. In the kitchen, Roy explored the cabinets and pantry, collecting what he needed to finish the ceremony. He looked in the garage as well for the final implement he required. Then he carried those items to the round room and placed them atop the wheeled chest in which Guinevere stored her divining aids. He used a dish towel to wipe off the chair in which he had been sitting, for at the time he had not been wearing gloves and might have left fingerprints. He also buffed that side of the table, the crystal ball, and the snowflake crystals that he had arranged earlier for the psychic reading. He had touched nothing else in the room. For a few minutes he pulled open drawers and doors in the tool chest, examining the magical contents until he found an item that seemed appropriate to the circumstances. It was a pentelpha, also called a pentagram, in green on a field of black felt, used in more serious matters, such as attempted communication with the spirits of the dead, than the mere reading of runes, crystals, and tarot cards. Unfolded, it was an 18-inch square. He placed it in the center of the table as a symbol of the life beyond this one. And I have 18 circled. He plugged in the small electric reciprocating saw that he found among the tools in the garage, and he relieved Guinevere of her right hand. Gently he placed the hand in a rectangular Tupperware container on another soft dish towel, and he had arranged it as a bed for it. He snapped the lid on the container. Although he wanted to take her left hand too, he felt that it would be selfish to insist on possessing both. The right thing was to leave one with the body, so the police and coroner and mortician and everyone else who dealt with Guinevere's remains would know that she'd possessed the most beautiful hands in the world. He lifted Chester's arms onto the table. He placed the dead man's right hand over Guinevere's left, on top of the pentefla, to express his conviction that they were together in the next world. Roy wished he had the psychic power or purity or whatever was required to be able to channel the spirits of the dead. He would have channeled Guinevere there and then to ask if she would really mind if he acquired her left hand as well. Okay, it's page 145. He sighed, picked up the Tupperware container, and reluctantly left the round room. In the kitchen, he phoned 911 and spoke to the police operator. The place of the way is just a place now. It's very sad. Please come. Leaving the telephone off the hook, he snatched another dish towel from a drawer and hurried to the front door. As far as he could recall, when he had first entered the house and followed Chester to the round room, he had touched nothing. Now he needed only to wipe the doorbell, push and drop the dish towel on the way to his car. He drove out of Burbank over the hills into the Los Angeles basins through a seedy section of Hollywood. The bright splashes of graffiti on walls and highway structures, the cars full of young thugs and cruising in search of trouble. And I am really sorry for this next sentence. I forgot this was in here. The pornographic bookstores and movie theaters, the empty shops and the littered gutters, and the other evidence of economic and moral collapse. The hatred and envy and greed and lust that thickened the air more effectively than the smog. None of that dismayed him for the time being, because he carried with him an object of such perfect beauty that it proved there was a powerful and wise creative force at work in the universe. He had evidence of God's existence, secured in a Tupperware container. Out on the vast Mojave, where the night ruled, where the works of humankind were limited to the dark highway and the vehicles upon it, where the radio reception of distant stations was poor, Spencer found his thoughts drawn against his will to the deeper darkness and even stranger silence of the night, 16 years in the past. Once captured in that loop of memory, he could not escape until he had purged himself by talking about what he had seen and endured. The barren plains and hills provided no convenient taverns to serve as confessionals. The only sympathetic ears were those of the dog. I'm only going to do 2 pages so that these videos aren't that long. So that's all for this video. Thank you.